paradiseworldvideos. Paradise world videos, where it all get paid. Paradise world videos.
Back in Torrevieja, Spain, Costa Blanca, and yep, we're in the main city here, and there's some big news. A whistleblower's just won a big case here in Torrevieja, the local police force. And there's also been a big cyber gang just been caught trying to get cars from a dealership in Torrevieja. There's a big bust, of course, in Benidorm on mobile phones. There's so much to get on with. And of course, if you do need to get to hospital here in Spain and you ain't got medical care, I'm going to let you know what you're expected to pay. And not only that, we've got a crazy case of a goat on a window ledge in Madrid. Yeah, I'm going to show you a video of that. Also, we got the news of the Spanish president of the Women's Football Association finally went to court, so we got an update on the case on that as well. First of all, we're going to tell you about this whistleblower, the local police here in Spain, Torrevieja, and harassment. It's just won a workplace harassment court case against the local authority here, the police force, of all what's been going on while he's been working for them and all the corruption cases that's been happening. And this former local police officer actually won his big case in court. He was exposing all the irregularities that were going on, and it was fines that were getting withdrawn, and of course other things that were happening in the local police force here, and he was reporting it, all the dodgy dealings basically. And yeah, it's alleged that he was reporting all this to the superiors, and he was getting messed about with his shifts and all kind of things. So yeah, he was getting treated quite bad. One of the exposing irregularities he was talking about was including the withdrawal of fines and the lack of nightclub inspections here in Torrevieja. And it's the city council that's got to cough up this money. They've got to compensate this police officer with €90,000, and that's with the interest as well, all because they, you know, didn't investigate and to prevent any more harassment that was going on. This was back in 2013 to 2016. He was forced from his normal actions, and he was denied to do his holidays and other things, like change his shifts around, and yeah, he was literally treated really bad. And yeah, they even withheld some of his pay. So apart from messing about with his shifts and denying him holidays, and all what he was seeing going on with the fines and what they weren't doing and what they should have been doing, they actually all got exposed, and they didn't investigate when he was reporting it, and they basically put him on arse duties. Saying eventually he was put into another position, and other than being put on arse duties, so eventually he was transferred to another position, and yeah, that's when the 8-year legal battle started. He even involved the anti-fraud agency in Valencia community to actually start investigating all what was going on. Apparently it's not the first time, this is the 6th case in the last 15 years that this kind of business has been going on. They've already paid out over 200,000 compensation for all these cases. Of course, this police officer weren't happy what was going on, and he reported all what was going on to the superiors about an inspector that got a fine removed from one of his friends that got fined. He actually managed to make it disappear in the system. And yeah, he was reporting what was happening to his superiors about a fine that was paid in cash, which was including the withdrawal of a fine by a former inspector for a friend, and collection of fines in cash, a practice that later led to a prison sentence for the officer that actually was involved in this. And they're saying the officers' extortion by the police officers, where they went into a bar and restaurant. So the officers got sentenced, and it was to do with the extortion during officers that went into shop and restaurant inspectors, which resulted in the conviction of these 3 officers, and raised concerns about assigned to certain conduct and inspections of the nightclub venues that were going on. And one of these was a well-known nightclub in La Mata that they actually got shut down. And they also, back in 2023, a retired police inspector, he got 8.5 years, and he was tampering with public records. And he was proven he had been cancelling traffic fines for his friends, and got the receipts and the withdrawals from that €200 fine taken away. And in 2022, the court also convicted 2 other local police officers for extortion as well, and they got 5 years and 3 years. And they found him guilty of demanding money from business in exchange of protection. I mean, we know during COVID times, when COVID was going on, we were told we had to wear a mask. You get caught by the police, you're going to get fined. Of course, a lot of bars and restaurants we went into, they said not to worry, police won't do nothing, which we found very strange. So yeah, there were a lot of dodgy dealings going on here in Torrevieja, especially in COVID times. So yeah, the whistleblower, and he's got them all banged up. Of course, it's obviously only a small section of police and what's going on in the world. But yeah, lots going on in Torrevieja. And just before we go on to the next subject, if you're one of the unlucky ones and you do need to get medical care on the quick, as you know, you need to see doctors to get prescribed antibiotics. Well, here in Torrevieja, you don't even need to see a doctor. As you know, most places it's very hard to get antibiotics over the counter. But for this chemist here, you can literally go in there and get antibiotics over the counter for literally €3.50. So don't even need to rush out and see a doctor basically. Just go in there, tell them what you need, and they'll ask you questions if you're allergic to anything, and they'll give you these tablets. Cheap as chips. Of course, if you are paying into the system in Spain and you are self-autonomous or you're working for somewhere, or a restaurant, bar, and you're employed, you will get free healthcare, and then you get your card. And unlike England or anywhere else, your medical care is subsidised by the government here. Literally, you'll pick up their antibiotics for like 60, 70 cents. You'll get I don't know, about €100 worth of medication here, and it'll cost you like 12 or 15 euros. You get a massive reduction on medication in Spain because you're paying into the system. But if you've got no ways of paying into the system, and you just come here and you ain't even got health care or got nothing, and you need medical care, and if you ain't got your HIT card, if you're on holiday, you could be ending up paying out a few quid. For starters, if you just want a primary care visit, it's going to cost you €100. Or if you're going to spend one night in Torrevieja Hospital, just for one night alone, to spend in this hospital is going to cost you €200 a night. That includes a day as well. So yeah, €200 basically visit the hospital in Torrevieja if you ain't got any health care at all. And they want that up in cash, so you'll have to pay on your bank card. And I've known people to pay up €100 to see a private doctor as well. So yeah, it's always good to have travel medical insurance if you are coming abroad. Make sure you got the new HIT card, as you know, it covers you, paid by the government back in the UK, and that will cover your health care. But if you're living in Spain, very important that you do get private health care, because you never know when you need it. So we've got this cyber fraud gang that are actually targeting dealerships here in Torrevieja. And the police have caught these people, and yeah, they've actually been dismantled now, but they've used identity theft, documents, forgery to buy these vehicles, and quite a lot of vehicles as well. It was over 180,000 euros worth of vehicles. They was even trying to get loans up to 300,000 euros. And yeah, they did name this operation Saxum 24, and yeah, they arrested all these people, and they were from Madrid. Went back to August 2024, and it weren't to like one of these company sales directors actually noticed all these suspicious transactions in the dealership going on. It was in Elche, Orihuela Costa, and also here in Torrevieja. And they were doing fake kind of estate ads just to lure people in and get all their personal financial data and find out, you know, if they were interested in renting homes. So that's how they gathered all their information, and of course that's where the forgery started. They was using all their information to get these cars from these dealerships and commit these frauds. So they caught this 29-year-old woman in Madrid trying to collect one of these cars, and they also blocked the sale of these other 4 cars, and this was just in January this year. And they caught this 33-year-old man, arrested in Madrid, of course, and it was 22 crimes that he had been involved in. So there, the gang's getting done for everything really, from identity fraud, forgery, documents, online scams, and yeah, they're all going to be up in court very soon. So that was the cars being scammed at dealerships. And we've got another case here, which the police have been cracking down on stolen mobile phones. And they've arrested 15 people in Benidorm for this. And all these people are getting done for all kind of things. This criminal gang they've dismantled, from document forgery, money laundering, property-related crimes. And yeah, I say 15 were arrested, and they got 337 stolen phones from this arrest. And the brains behind it was, well, the big ringleader that orchestrated all the falsification of documents and everything. And he was the one that was unlocking all these high-end phones. And he was the man, and he was a Pakistani national. And he had a call centre that he was using to get all his fraudulent information. And what he done was pretty clever really. So he used a fraudulent call centre to get all the data for unlocking all these phones, all the passwords and everything. And of course that got all the bank details and everything, all what they needed. And yeah, just over a month they've done near enough 800 transactions. They're saying the gang stored a lot of these phones and started selling them to these phone shops all around Benidorm. So yeah, they've done this big operation, and yeah, they searched 6 premises, and that's when they come across all these laptops, stolen phones, loads of money in euros, and they seized all the hard drives. Basically, they got everything in all these 6 raids actually done. And they reckon the arrested people were aged between 19 and 61. And there were some Spanish, Pakistanis, Russians all involved in this. Also saying that a few of these were arrested already had criminal records. And they were using all these scam call centres to get all their information, all what they needed. Why they're using these phone call centres quite easy really, because that's where they got their name and their phone number and their bank transactions and everything, and that's how they was able to carry out this big fraud. But yeah, that's not the end of the case, because it's still going on apparently, and the police are still at it and still investigating. And yeah, the police have been really busy, because they've also caught 2 other people in Elche, and they were robbing up to 5 homes. Well, I suppose that's what they know about. And they was going into quiet areas, quiet part of Spain, probably some of these towns I've been visiting, where second homes and everything, where there's not a lot going on. But they were robbing these quiet areas, and they actually got caught red-handed. And they've been accused of stealing the cars. They've been accused of stealing over 12,000 euros in cash, also taking the jewellery from these premises. And the police said they were cutting the fences in these rural areas, and they're using old monkey wrenches out to bust open the doors. And of course, once they were inside and they got all their money, and that's where they got the keys for the cars. Up to 4 cars they've been alleged to have stole, and then they got the codes to their gates. But they got caught red-handed. So yeah, the police are doing well lately, aren't they? Catching all these druggies and robbers and all these cyber scams. We've got our next case here, and as you're all probably aware that the Women's World Cup, the Spain won, and the old Spanish Association president kissed one of the players, and yeah, it finally come to court, and this is what happened. Basically, he got let off with a slap because he just got a fine. That's all what happened once he got to court, and it was all because he alleged it was a non-consensual kiss, because he just kissed one of the players, Jenni Hermoso, and he said it was consensual and she said it wasn't, and apparently there were 10 witnesses on either side of the case that went to court. This big controversial case, of course, it happened in 2023, just after Spain won the Women's World Cup. It took quite a while for the court case to be decided because they went backwards and forwards 9 times in total. Final result, the judge actually did find him guilty. They said Rubiales committed a sexual assault, and they imposed an 18-month or €20 per day for doing this on this poor football player that says she did not give permission. Rubiales got found guilty in court for this sexual assault. £8,000 basically, that's all he got. And others wanted him to have a prison sentence, but yeah, if he didn't get no prison sentence, just basically got away with a slap, didn't he? I mean, the prosecutors actually wanted him to go down for 2 years and 6 months. The judge was a bit lighter and a bit softer, and they went, no, they're just going to give him a fine, and he's got banned to stay away. And he can't even approach Jenni Hermoso within a 200-metre radius. But that's only for a year. So after a year, he can do what he likes. But there were 20 witnesses that did go to court, and basically it was half on each side that were witnessing different statements and stories what actually happened. So I don't know if this made a big difference in the case, but they did have a specialist that actually can do lip reading, and apparently he said Rubiales did ask for a kiss. As you all know, it weren't just a kiss on the cheek, it was smack bang on the lips. Rubiales still maintained the kiss was consensual, but at the end of the day, if a lip reader specialist said he did ask for the kiss, I suppose he didn't have a second to think, because a second later he was smack on the lips giving her this kiss. Of course, there was a lot of excitement and everyone was jumping up and down because he's just won the World Cup. But yeah, he didn't get his 2.5 years in prison. He got slapped away with an £8.5 grand fine, really, and got to stay away for 200 metres for only a year. After a year, he can get as close as he wants. So that was a Rubiales court case. All over and done and dusted. Got off scot-free, didn't he? But how about this one, eh? In Madrid, you ain't gonna believe this story. Fire rescues had to rescue a baby goat on a ledge of an apartment building. Take a look at this. The authorities don't even know how this goat got onto the window ledge of this flat. But as you can see, all the way up the 5th floor. And Madrid police authorities and emergency services are all there trying to rescue this poor little thing. Unbelievable, isn't it, eh? Amazing. Must have flying goats out there. And this next bit of news we all know about, and just reading in a local paper here, the street epidemic, or the looky-looky. They're saying it's reaching crisis point. As you know, here in Torrevieja, it's Friday afternoon, and there won't be long, they'll all be along here, as usual. It's like the Friday market along the promenade, Playa del Cura. As you know, in some parts of Spain, they crack down really badly on these looky-looky illegal street vendors. But in other parts of Spain, such as France, yeah, they have big penalties for people that are selling these, or even people that are buying them. As you know, we do have a lot of signs up here, gone up recently over the last year. Anyone caught buying off them, you will get €200 fine. Not heard of anyone yet being caught, and I've not heard of any policeman catching any looky-looky. or even bothered about it. But this is what I've just read in the local newspaper about this street vending of these, as you know, they come over from Morocco. They're harmless basically, and of course the tourists love it. They get a right old bargain on the old fakes, because of course the new ones cost a fortune, and they are good quality as well. And they're saying that the Spanish government are actually saying let them live. So the big Spanish approach to all this illegal fakes going on is to just let them live, and they're not really bothered about these trying to get by selling these fakes of all course, as you know, all this designer gear. They're really interested in catching the big people that are actually supplying them. As you can see, they just put their sheet down, and as soon as the police walk along, what they end up doing, they end up running away. Hola. 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 Okay, nice to meet you anyway. Thank you. Bye. So the Spanish government here, they just look at it in a different kind of way, like a political way. They're just saying they're just trying to make things like, you know, get by basically, and live. And this is what they're doing. And there ain't no real plan actually to actually stop them, other than you get the odd policeman come along and shush them away, and then of course they return again. They just stand to the side of the roads, as you know, with the big blue bags. But they're saying there ain't no like strategy really in sorting it out, especially with the public safety issue, because of course they're just all over the footpaths. And if you come up here at night, you won't be able to see anything because they just cover the whole promenade. Because say tourists love it, they get a right old bargain. It's all part of the bargaining skills here when you come on holiday. Get yourself a few cheap fakes, top quality. It's the winner chicken dinner, isn't it, eh? If they was to sell the original a bit cheaper, then there wouldn't be a problem. But as you know, it's not just along the promenades here, and a lot of these big cities, it all going on in the Chinese shops. You can actually go in the shops here and buy the fakes in the shops. So yeah, the police just turning a blind eye. But they're saying in Barcelona, they're saying like where the street trade is getting bigger and bigger, it's just took over all the pavements. We actually witnessed it when we was there. They had the blankets on a bit of string, and literally as soon as a policeman walked along, they just pull the string and up comes the blanket with all the stuff, and they just run to the corner. They've got their spotters out there. But like I say, they're not doing any harm. They're trying to earn a living, but there are people that are losing out. Of course, there's an uproar with the shops because they're losing out. They're paying the taxes and going through all the legal ways and doing it properly. And then you've got the big companies, of course, are losing out on all this fake, because people are not buying the full price of these products, and they're getting a bargain discount of the same thing. In some of these cities and some of these areas, the shopkeepers are really having a moan up, because they reckon they're losing about 30 to 40% of their actual trade, because they're buying off these street vendors instead of buying them in the shops. What's making it worse for these shops as well, they're putting the stuff literally outside the shop. So they're not even going in their shops, they're buying it outside. See it in the market as well. You've got all the market stalls, they're paying for their pitches and their taxes, and then they just dump up their little stash on a blanket right to the middle of the market, and just literally blatant just sell their stuff. That's what you call rubbing your nose in it. Yeah, they're just saying that the police just pull up in a patrol car, 2 policemen jump out, they might grab one looky, but then 10 minutes later he's back selling again. As you can see, the market's getting set up here already, and give it another half hour right along here, it'll be all the way along, all the way round. I mean, I know it goes on every Friday. Of course, they're here every day, but Friday is their market day here, and yeah, they go all the way round. And if I know they're here, the police know they're here, but yeah, they're not going to do nothing. They just put the signs up and make it look like they're doing something. Don't know what the full story is behind it. I know that, you know, they say they've got to let them live and earn their money, and this is the only way they're doing it, and they're trying to catch the big boys. It don't look like it's working. And they're saying, yep, it's meeting crisis point, because not only they're just there, they're in all their shopping centres and car parks, subways, literally everywhere. And of course they're blocking a lot of the entrances, and they're a bit worried about the public safety. So case something kicks off and they've got to get out quick, and they're blocking all the entrances. So they're saying the government strategy ain't working, and they're not really bothered about it, and they've just left it to the local police to deal with the situation. And yeah, a lot of them say all kind of rumours that they've been paid off, but yeah, it just don't seem right, does it? Everybody knows where they are every day, and the way the local police are dealing with it is just showing their face and then just walking the other direction, and I'm putting up a few signs like this one. And yeah, I've seen them all along here, and I've seen them other parts of the beach, along Torrevieja, Playa La Mata, and up in Playa Norficus. So yeah, all parts of Spain now, they're all popping up along the coast, these warning signs. They're saying these unlicensed street vendors are a menace, but I would say just let them live and get on with it. I don't know what your thoughts about it. Let me know in the comments what you think about the looky. Of course, they're not the only street vendors. You've got the women that do the hair braiding, you've got the musicians busting, you've got the odd stall that sells their bits of jewellery. So yeah, there's a lot of doing illegal street vending. So yeah, let us know in your comments what you think about today's video, the corrupt police, and of course our Rubio just getting slapped with a little fine. But it's just another day in paradise, isn't it? 18 degrees today, and there is a bit of rain about, but it does always miss Torrevieja for some reason. And the next couple of days could be a bit grey, around about 17 degrees before it pops back into the 20s. But I don't think it's going to change here. We always get the sun, 360 days worth. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. As usual, don't forget to subscribe if it's your first time at the channel, and a big thank you for the coffees from Janet and all the subscribers, and also from the channel members. See you in the next video.